NBA Finals, albeit the Phoenix Suns versus the Milwaukee Bucks. So I'm gonna go around the horn. Who are the players that you're rooting for? I'm gonna go with you first. Fresh, the players that you're rooting for.
Two players. Personally, Mikal Bridges. He went to Villanova. I always been a fan of Villanova. I met Jay Wright like a long time ago. He was super cool. So I just secretly cheer for Villanova or whatever. So for real. But then Devin Booker for sure. I would like to see them win the championship and him get Finals MVP, like in his first Finals run. Just how he's handled it really well. Like I can only really think of 2 bad games he's had this playoffs where he just seemed off, but he's been locked in. He's definitely elevated his game, putting up 47 one game, 48 another. So I definitely want to see. It's no secret that he is a fan of Kobe and mimics Kobe game or whatever. So I definitely, being in this position, and especially with Kobe not being here to watch him play, I just feel like he's going to play on another level because he's going to be kind of thinking of him while he's out there playing. So I'm definitely rooting for Devin Booker and Mikal Bridges.
We got John.
Player I'm rooting for. I got Giannis. I think it's a chance for Giannis to actually show that he belongs in the names with those elite players right now. I know it's a running joke that those players up there don't respect him. KD, James Harden did have those comments about him in that interview a couple years ago with Rachel Nichols, surprisingly. But a lot of people, and even just fans in general, because I think a lot of fans take those things that they say or they hear they players say and think it's serious or think it's some truth to it. If Giannis wasn't as skilled if Giannis didn't have any skill, he wouldn't be in the NBA. Like that's first and foremost. Like you have to have some kind of elite skill to be in the NBA, whether that's being the fact that he's as athletic as he is and as quick as he is. That's a skill all in itself.
Right, he coordinated like that,
and he's coordinated right. Like you he's 7'1". I'm gonna say it. He's 7'1" and moves like that and doesn't lose the ball. Like how often does Giannis turn the ball up on a fast break or just in a half court set for real? Like that's an actual skill. So if he can come out and keep playing the way he's been playing in the playoffs, he's had a couple 30-point games, 13 rebounds. If he can keep playing like that, I think that's going to quiet a lot of that talk, especially, people that don't think he should have won back-to-back MVPs.
Yeah. Who you got, Jelani?
I'm rooting for the Tar Heels, man. We got 2 of them in there. We got Cam Johnson and Justin. Wow, I almost forget his last name. Yeah, I'm just playing.
Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson. I was about to call him Justin Williams for some reason. Justin Jackson and Cam Johnson. But honestly, outside of them, one of them obviously is going to take the trophy on. But Chris Paul, I don't want to give the basic answer, but that's just one of my favorite point guards. I have him. I know the group message had the debate. Shout out to Jeff and everybody to that sparked that, but I have him in my top 5. A few people say if he's not, I guess they was talking about Stockton and CP3 if he's not 5 or 6, but I got him in my top 5. I feel like this championship will solidify it. Just a feel good story. He's fought so hard to even get sniff the finals. He's always getting bounced in the second round. With certain clubs. So came so close with Houston that one year, but got hurt. So definitely want to see him get one. And like Fresh, I'm a Booker guy as well. I want to be different because Fresh always said Booker, but I love Book as well. So he's been on a tear like Fresh said as well. I can easily see they pull this out, him getting finals MVP for sure.
Yeah. Like you said, you as well, Jelani. My Tar Heels, Cam Johnson, Justin Jackson. What's your name for Milwaukee? A couple of guys like PJ Tucker. Bobby Portis, and then shout out Bobby Portis, a former Bull. Giving people a 2-piece and a biscuit.
Right.
Back in the days, Bobby Portis don't play. And then also somebody who's buried under the Miami, not Miami, but Milwaukee bench, Mama D from UVA. So definitely huge shout out to Mama D. I think his name is. I call him Mama Diake Mamadou. The dude that used to play for UVA.
I think I know. What number did he wear?
The dude with the blonde hair. Let's just do that. Yeah. Let's just do that.
Yeah.
But I think I just call him Mama D, even though it's like Dia keep something like that. His name is like Mamadi Diakite, but I call him Mama D. That's just I don't know. That's just that's just my little ignorance. Not ignorance, but it's just the way of.
Hey, if he was smart though, get some marketing behind that, do his own promo for it. That'd be a good nickname, man. That'd be catchy. Almost Larry Johnson, Grandma Maish.
But yeah, the blonde dude. Translation: the blonde dude that played for the Bucks. The Dennis Rodman looking like pretty much. You want to look like Dennis Rodman. But fellas, the biggest storyline in the NBA Finals is. I'm gonna go with you first, Jelani.
I mean, I guess it can be the Suns. You know, from verge of the bubble. I still feel like they didn't get a fair shake last year. I didn't understand like why they I know it was seeding wise and number of games played wise. I feel like they went run. It should have been something to where they were able to vie for that spot versus them just being half game out or whatever. But I guess Phoenix just incredible run. Since the bubble of last year, they went 7-0. Came into this year, with CP3. He hasn't been I know people have been arguing back and forth whether he's had really his whole hand. Like a lot of people, I guess, giving him too much credit, and others are. I feel like they don't give him enough credit. But going in kind of with the same troops, adding CP3. Obviously, Monty Williams is a great coach, and just how far this team has gone. Like they've looked like the most dominant team in the playoffs every single game they've played. At least in my eyes. So just that storyline from literally going, what was they 20? I can't even think 25, 26. Like they basically whatever their record was last year, like 26, 27, and 40 something, and to climb all the way to a second seed in the West. And be right there in the finals 4 games away from the chip. CP3 getting his first one. Booker the Terry's been on his first run. That's probably not the biggest. It's the one that's interesting to me. Obviously, I think more so for some reason, a lot of the bigger storylines is on Milwaukee and Giannis and whether he can finally pull out a championship. With the promises that he made with Kobe and everything. Get an MVP. All right, now go get that championship. And whether he's even going to play, I know they're saying he should be suiting up and ready to play game 1 for tomorrow. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see on it.
Yeah. Your thoughts, Fresh? Who's your biggest storyline?
I think for me, I think the biggest storyline is Giannis. But mainly, like Jelani said about him going ahead and trying to get over the hump and get that championship. Like John said before, proving himself and quieting the naysayers about his game and things like that, and then just mainly the injury factor too, because if he's healthy, we'll see real quick if he plays game 1 how healthy he is. So if he's not healthy, you're gonna have people wonder, well, what if he was, and if he is, him just trying to see him playing through the pain or whatever. So Giannis is an important storyline, and then I can see the Chris Paul storyline also, his first finals. I think if he does win his first championship, that does kind of solidify him in the top 5, I would think. And I'm a John Stockton guy, so I think the championship would definitely help him because I can see how it comes down to those two or whatever. So definitely, but for me, the biggest is the Giannis factor.
Yeah. Got John.
I think the biggest story should be Chris Paul, but I think the most important story is Mike Budenholzer, and is he going to be able to keep making adjustments and putting his team in the right position to win? Because we all know, I think a lot of people are thinking, like, regardless of them getting this far, if they don't win, there's a chance he probably could still get fired, honestly. So I know that's weird. Like, I know him and the Cavs or Tyronn Lue both got fired after losing in the finals, but nobody expected. Everybody thinks that the Bucks have the talent to get this far, but nobody think that Bud is a coach that can get them this far. So the fact that he got him here, his job seems to be secure if he wins it. If he can do all the things that he should do, the things he did against Atlanta, against Brooklyn, against Miami, maybe they do come out and get this victory, and he shows that he is a good, he is a top tier coach as well as championship level coach, but. Like, is he going to do all that stuff? Is he going to make those adjustments at the right moment? Is he going to keep Drew Holiday involved in the offense and let Curtis Middleton score? Is he going to keep Brook Lopez involved? Like, what is Mike Budenholzer going to do more than what any player on the court is going to do for real?
Yeah, big time. Maz, I think obviously Giannis' health. That's going to be the biggest one, and then just like I mentioned earlier, it's the historic NBA Finals. We look at the Suns as far as they haven't been to the finals since 1993. They've never won a championship. And then you think about it, the Suns ain't been in the playoffs in a decade, almost like what the Lakers were last year.
Uh-huh.
So, y'all there in Sacramento, there's hope for you next year potentially.
No hope.
But
No, Sacramento. No, don't say it. I like Sacramento as a basketball.
But no, I'm just saying like that, and then also the Bucks. So we just got to change in the guard. It's not change the guard, but more so just you got new blood in the NBA Finals. We don't have a LeBron James or a Steph Curry or even a Shaq teammate. So the first time in 37 years. So so that was another interesting stat that kind of came out of this NBA Finals. But yeah, I just think this is going to be it's an historic NBA Finals, and then just the health of Giannis. I think, which it's up in the air at this point.
Right.
But so fellas, matchup to watch. I'm gonna go with you first, Jelani. What's the matchup to watch in this NBA Finals?
Honestly, it's gonna for me. I don't know because like you say it's all dependent on Giannis' health, like who matches up with him. I feel like Crowder may get the first knock at it. If not him, maybe Mikal Bridges. But honestly, I don't know. I'm a guard, guys. I used to be a guard, so I'm watching. Drew probably is gonna guard Book or guard CP3. Just like who's the backcourt and who's guarding who, like who's doing what, like because Drew for us, like I think the last or not for us for Milwaukee, like the last game he guarded every single position. Like he was guarding everybody. He was all over the floor. So I don't know, just that matchup. I'm pretty sure they'll put Drew on Book, and if he's able to slow him down a good bit to to keep them at bay. But if not, you gotta worry about CP3. Like I said, he's looking healthier. He can score if need be. He gets everybody involved. That's just one of the I don't know. That's the matchup I guess I'm looking forward to the most. Just maybe that Drew Holiday Book, but. What I guess can come down to is, obviously, it's no secret Giannis' health and kind of who's guarding him, who can slow him down as well. So, well, not really, because also Middleton. I know somebody's about to say something because I've been saying, obviously, I know Perk said it too. Middleton's the Batman, Giannis is the Robin. I don't fully believe in that, like fully. Right. I see kind of what he was saying, but I don't fully necessarily agree. But when Middleton gets going, we've seen it 2 games out of our series. When he gets going, he gets going, and it's tough to stop him. So but still, Giannis kind of adds to that team. So whoever's matched up with him, if they can hold him at bay, and if he's healthy at all, it's going to be obviously pretty important.
Yeah. Fresh, what you got?
Yeah, I'm with you though. I don't fully agree with that. I think Giannis is their best player, but Middleton is clearly a more offensive skill player, and he's a better free throw shooter. Like he's 90% from the line, so I can see why you would go to him in the fourth quarter when he's feeling it. But Giannis is their best player. But the matchup, I think Chris Middleton, because it's all depending on Giannis's health. Also, Middleton being guarded by Bridges, because Bridges I think is a really he's an elite defender, and he kind of, Middleton has been able to shoot over almost everyone that's been guarding him. So Bridges, Mikal can kind of match his size, being 6'8", and he got long arms. So it'd be interesting to see Middleton because he's had like these explosions. But I was watching Game 6 through the first half. I was like, is he even playing in the game? And then he goes off in the third quarter.
Yeah,
right. Exactly. So. He's done that a few times where you were asking, like, is he even playing? And he goes off. And I don't think that's going to be able to work against the Suns, especially, depending on Giannis's health. So Bridges guarding him. And if Giannis isn't out there, that means he's going to get Bridges and Jay Crowder on him. So that's going to be tough. Mm-hmm. But Chris Middleton, Mikal Bridges is what I'm watching.
Yeah. We got John.
First, I want to say Knicks in 5 years, like 5 years, right? Knicks in 5 years. That's first and foremost. Not for Prezi again. But the matchup, it's some interesting matchups in this one. I'm going Devin Booker and PJ Tucker because PJ Tucker is one of those elite veteran defenders who's been, asked to guard multiple positions and different types of players. And, he having to guard players like Kobe and KD and LeBron, I think that's going to have him ready for whatever Devin Booker throws at him, even if he got to poke him in the eye like he's been doing to everybody else. But, I think that's going to be interesting because it's like Devin Booker has been pretty consistent as, in the playoffs. He might go off for 40 one night, but then he might follow it up with a 30 or 25-point night to stay in that range and just give his team a consistent offense. But, can PJ Tucker disrupt that a little bit, getting some of his dribbling and shooting space, especially with, Devin Booker wanting to put the ball on the floor a little more, to get to that mid-range and get some of those jump shots. And I think PJ Tucker, as strong as he is, that's going to cause Devin Booker a couple problems just on driving lanes. Like, PJ Tucker going to be able to buckle him a little bit, and he might fall on his ass a couple times before he really gets adjusted to it.
He definitely gonna foul him.
Yeah, right.
Don't be surprised. Okay, I got a question.
The first one, just
PJ Tucker or Jay Crowder.
What's that?
Who gonna get in foul trouble first? PJ Tucker or Jay Crowder?
PJ.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Because a lot of people, saying that they thinking maybe PJ might be on Booker potentially. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard rumblings from what I've been reading and stuff. That could be a potential where if he guards a guard per se, that's definitely could be, like you said, could be potential. The one matchup I'm really looking forward to is Lopez and Aiden. I want to see what they do. I want to see what they do down low. And I wonder how Brook Lopez is going to be able to handle that pick and roll. That's going to be definitely interesting because I think that's Phoenix kind of in essence their bread and butter, and that it ain't the bread and butter, but it's a slice.
Right.
The multitude of bread they got, but it's a key factor, especially when you got Chris Paul. He's famous for for the pick and roll, and he can definitely get Aiden down low. So, just seeing what Brook Lopez can do, and that's the thing about it. These aren't your prototypical back in the day pause, but bump and grind centers pause.
Right. All right.
But you know what I mean? These are your hybrid. These are your hybrid centers. So this is definitely a great matchup from a center position. That we're gonna be watching the NBA Finals.
Right. And Aiden is the first center he's going against that I can think of that could score. So he's gonna make him work. I mean, I guess he played Bam technically. Miami was there technically. But
were they there, Mo?
Right.
Was Miami there?
They really weren't. So Aiden is going to force Lopez to guard. So they might have to put Bobby Portis on him more. So that is a good matchup to see how he deals with him.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be interesting because I know, he's been a better rebound since that year. But you always get on Brook Lopez about that year. He averaged 2 rebounds, and one of DeAndre Ayton's strengths is hitting the offensive and rebound and defensive board. So. Is Brook Lopez going to be able to get down there a bit and fight him for some of the rebounds, or is he just going to kind of, float around those rebounds?
Right.
That's big time. Sure. So, fellas, we got to put a bow on this NBA Finals preview. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get your guys' predictions, MVP, and then your social medias and what else is going on with your prospective podcast and whatever you want to care to share. Jelani.
Of course, as always, appreciate you guys having me on. Let me say that real quick. But my prediction, I'm going Suns in 6.
Ooh.
I don't know. That's just the way I've been feeling. That's what I thought. I was like, if we lose, I'm rooting for the Suns, rooting for CP3, and I feel like they can get it done. They've looked good all playoffs, in my opinion. And obviously with Giannis being more than likely, he ain't gonna be 100% throughout this entire series. I think they can get it done. Whether it's 6 or 7, but I'm going with 6. That's just how I'm feeling.
Okay.
MVP wise, Devin Booker. Like I said earlier with Fresh, I think like I said, he's had 1, maybe 2 bad games. It probably wasn't even terrible games. It was just probably mediocre to everything else that he had been doing in the playoffs. So I think I think he definitely, because his tear continues. Like you guys were saying, PJ's probably gonna bother him a little bit, but I think they'll have something to figure out, or they'll figure out, things throughout the entity of the series. But yeah, that's my prediction. Suns in 6, not 4 but 6, and we're gonna go with Devin Booker as MVP.
All right, John, what you got?
Oh man, predictions. All because it still depends on Giannis. I think I did see that he is supposed to play game 1, but you don't know if he's still gonna be healthy enough or not. I'm going Suns in 6 as well. They've been basically steamrolling the competition, swept Denver, made old man LeBron look useless, gave Clippers as much as they can handle before putting them out. And Chris Paul, I'd like to say Chris Paul and Brook Lopez in that pick and roll situation is going to be a very interesting one, where Chris Paul is probably going to take advantage of that mid-range shot as he always do. Devin Booker for MVP. He's probably going – I know you say you want to see him average 30. I got him somewhere around about 28, 29 as well. I just don't want Chris Paul to win the MVP if he only averaging 14 points and 8 assists. That's the only thing I don't. Like if he earns the MVP, that's cool. But I don't want this over-love affair to lead to Chris Paul getting the Andre Iguodala Finals MVP. Is all I'm saying.
All right. Yeah.
Y'all terrible. All right. What you got, Fresh?
Hey man, y'all remember what that man said? He gonna knock him out, Suns in 4.
Oh yeah. MVP.
I got the Suns in 4. I don't think Giannis is gonna be healthy. I don't really believe in the Bucks. Congrats to them for finally making it to the finals. Because they've definitely, had a top seed in the East a few times, and they got some respectable players on their team. But I think the Suns, they've just been hot. They are the healthiest team left. Chris Paul said some of the extra time they've had has helped him get as close to, 100% as he could be. So I just think having health on their side is going to matter. And they get up early, I think they can put it away. I don't know who has home court advantage.
That's what I was thinking. I think the Suns do. Yeah.
So I think I got the Suns in 4. I don't think the Bucks are gonna beat them. Devin Booker is my Finals MVP. I think he has a big Finals. PJ Tucker's gonna try to be physical with him. It's gonna be fun to see Drew guard on Bridge. They're gonna throw everybody at him, but I feel confident in Devin Booker. This is why he didn't want to be double teamed during the regular season, because he can handle it in the finals. He's gonna go out and average 30. So I got the Suns in 4.
Yo, John, who was your Finals MVP again?
Devin Booker.
Booker. Okay.
We all want Booker.
Yeah, we all want Booker.
I got the Suns in 5. I think Milwaukee get one game, and then that's it. I think. And I think, like you said, I think Chris Paul could get the sympathy one. He could get the sympathy. He could get, like you said, the Andre Iguodala Lifetime Achievement MVP, essentially. Like, I think that's what's going to end up happening. Even though, like you said, Booker can go off. I just think this Phoenix team is just too deep. I think and like you said, the health of Giannis, and he's not going to be 100%. And then it's almost like it's kind of feel like Kevin Durant circa 2019. Where it's almost like, I don't know if you want to,
risk something else happening.
Risk something else, right? Where you get to a point where, if he's a no-go, say for instance, the status quo, and then you have a situation where they face elimination, you put him out there,
right?
And then he could be out for, he could re-aggravate an injury potentially, but Yeah, so definitely, man, great show, fellas. I'm just gonna go around the horn just a brief minute because I know our guys Jerg and Bars get ready to get on. So just 1 minute, social medias where they can find you.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll go first real quick. Twitter, WTGMTM podcast, Instagram, Facebook, What the Game Means to Me as well. Fresh John, Bryce, and I think a reporter for Fox 5, Miles Garrett. I had him on my Falcons 5-3, but I think that we're all should be doing a show on Wednesday just to wrap up our Hawks season. Say goodbye, say farewell, unfortunately, but yeah, appreciate you, Coach, for having me on. Appreciate you guys, open up the gate for the cookout, even though I was late.
Yeah,
so, appreciate it.
we had a grill for you, man.
Yeah, I already know.
Yeah.
But definitely look forward to that show with Jelani. We're gonna do that Wednesday, wrap up the season. For everyone, you can catch us on the Nothing But Net radio station. We come on in 2 minutes actually, so go ahead and download the Dash Radio app, Nothing But Net channel. Catch the Hoopers Hour, and on Twitter we are
at Hoopers Pod.
At the Hoopers Pods. Follow us on Twitter. Dope content. Shout out to Couch Coaches. Always love doing the show with you for sure.
Appreciate you fellas for coming on as well, man. Just follow the podcast, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on the Couch Coach Live. And I think we're gonna be doing some NBA Finals pregame shows. We kind of work in that kind of in the thing, so we're gonna try to get some stuff going. So it's gonna be a couple cookouts, like I was telling Vice Prez Jeff, the Pod Father. It's gonna be a couple cookouts for the rest of the summer. So yeah, man.
And right now, new Vice President Maria Taylor. We can't wait.
Yeah.
You know she watches the show.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, fellas, man. This has been this week's Couch Coach Live, man. We'll catch you on the next pod.
All right. Peace out.
See you guys.
All right.